What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about something very important: lift kit basics. You know, a lot of people think they just want to lift their truck very quickly and make it look cool, and they have no idea what they're getting into. Well, today that's what I'm going to explain. First thing I would recommend you doing is having a vision or a goal on what it is you're trying to do. Meaning, do you want to just level it? Do you want to lift it maybe 3 to 4 inches? Or do you want to go something like this, where I am rolling with a 10-inch McGaughy's lift? That is a 3/4 ton truck with 40-inch tires. If you end up just doing a leveling kit, okay, you're probably not into a whole lot of cost, okay? Which leads me to number 2, have a budget. You got to think about the budget you're trying to set for yourself, because if you're not sure what you're going for and you're not sure what you're getting into, you can end up into a very, very expensive hobby. And anybody out there that does this to their truck, they know what kind of expensive hobby this is. So if you're trying to get a nice look and you want to be, let's say, $500 to $1,000, then you're probably looking at more like a leveling kit. Leveling kit's nothing crazy, but once you start getting into the 3-inch, 4-inch, 6-inch lifts, that's when things start to get a little bit more costly, okay? Number 3, if you're going with a more larger lift, you got to keep in mind quality counts, because if you go out there and buy a cheap lift kit, you're going to get maybe mediocre parts, maybe even decent parts, but you're not going to have all the parts needed to make that lift function as it should. So what I mean by that is, for example, when you start lifting your truck this high off the ground, for example, you really start messing with the geometry of the vehicle. And what I mean by that is your steering, all your steering components, your axles, all that stuff. All that is affected when you lift a truck like that. So you got to keep that in mind. Not all lift kits are going to come with everything you need to correct all that geometry. You're going to want more components, because I'm telling you, if you don't, it is going to drive like crap. You are going to have horrible steering. You're going to have horrible control. You're going to be bouncing all over the road. You're not going to have a good experience. So make sure you think about the lift that you want to do, which, remember, was number 1, have a vision or a goal or what you're trying to achieve. Number 2, a budget, because if your budget's, let's say, $1,000 to $1,500, you're probably not going to be getting into something like this, just because it's going to cost you a lot more. Okay, so for example, a McGaughy's lift kit, like an 8 to 10 inch lift kit like this, you're probably somewhere in the $5,000 to $6,000 range. Okay, and that still doesn't come with everything that you need. So some of the things I do recommend. Okay, so first thing I would recommend, and this is all going to depend on how old your truck is. So right here, this bracket goes all the way across there. Okay, let's see if I can get there. It's going to mount to your actual frame on both sides, and it's going to actually mount to your steering box, so that this way your main arm here is stabilized. So that's number 1. That's not very expensive, okay? So that part right there, this whole bracket comes in one big piece. That right there is probably, I think I got that one rough country. I want to say that was maybe $150, $100, $150. Nothing crazy. So, but still, it has a benefit. You might not need it, but it has a benefit. Number 2, what I would pay attention to is steering stabilizers. Now you could do the single stabilizer that comes typically with your truck, maybe just upgrade the shock. But I would highly recommend, if you're going to go with a higher lift kit, go with a better steering stabilizer system. I bought this BDS kit with the Fox shocks. That kit there, I'd say that was probably about $500. You also want to pay attention to your other steering components here, okay? Number one, before you start, replacing all that stuff. Oh, let me get under here a little bit more. Sorry about that, guys. Ugh. Okay, so when you start looking at all this stuff, the first thing I would recommend you do before you start replacing anything is check all your bushings. Wiggle all this stuff. Make sure nothing's moving. If it's moving just by you giving it a little bit of muscle, your bushings definitely need replaced ASAP. If you, let's say, start your truck, leave it parked, but start it, and then start turning the wheels side to side. And because the whole goal is you want to watch all this stuff moving, okay? If you see stuff shifting and bobbling around, you're going to need to replace your bushings. That's where most people have all of their problems with their steering, is typically from the bushings. So check your bushings first before you start, replacing your steering bars and steering linkages and all that stuff. Check your bushings first, because you might be able to save a ton of money there. But while we're under here, I'm also going to point out a couple of things. Went back to that lift kit. Remember I was telling you about all the geometry changes? This is what I'm talking about. Stuff like this. You get all this purple stuff. It came purple in McGaughy's when I got the kit. But you can see it starts changing all of your track bars. It'll actually put drop brackets here for your sway bars, okay? It comes with all that. These are the important things you have to pay attention to. Does your kit come with that or not? Because if you're going with a higher 6-inch, 10-inch, whatever kit, and you don't have those things, your steering is going to suffer. When you're going with a large lift kit like this, typically you're putting on bigger tires. Now, I'm not saying you're going to put on some big 40s like this, but when you start going with bigger rims and bigger tires, and your tires will seek the crevices in the road, it'll pull you left to right a little bit, and you're constantly kind of holding onto the wheel back and forth. A steering stabilizer will help correct that. Let's see here. Next thing I want to talk about in terms of lift kits is, let's just talk about tires, okay? Keep this in mind. Another thing I want you guys to know about, when you start putting on big tires, you want to make sure you choose a tire, for one, that'll actually fit what, the circumference of the opening you're trying to do. But most of the time, you're gonna have to do a little bit of trimming, which I've already done, and I'm probably gonna have to do more, because when I cut this really sharp, sometimes I still kind of bump that. Sometimes you gotta do actual further trimming. Like for example, over here, look at that. That's already been, clipped off because the tire hit it. Now I already know these are junk. These are old. They're already warping. As you can see here, it's already starting to warp. I already got some new bushwhackers. They should be in this week, which will be my next video. I'll put some new bushwhackers on there. I'm not sure if I'm going to paint them though. They're going to come black. When I get them in, I'll put them on. I'll let you guys let me know what you think. If you like them black, we'll keep them black. If you think I should get them painted gray to match the truck like I did with these, we can. That'll be a separate video. Okay, another thing I want to talk to you guys about. Another tip. And again, guys, these are just tips I've learned. I'm no professional here. I'm no master of lift kits, but I'm telling you from my experience, I've made mistakes, okay? I'm not perfect. That's my whole point of this channel, is I want to show you that I'm a real dude. I've made mistakes while I was building this, okay? One of my biggest, tire pressure. When I went with the big tires, I heard a lot of guys say, you can run 35 PSI, you can run 40 PSI. That's all you need. It'll give you a softer, cushiony ride. Otherwise, these trucks ride hard. Let me tell you, don't do that. It rides like garbage. I was bouncing all over the road, and I'm talking uncontrollably. When you just research death wobble. Now, I'm not saying I had true death wobble. That's a little bit of some other issues, but it felt like it. Man, I tell you, my truck was bouncing everywhere. Somebody came up in some some column, some vlog somewhere. I can't remember where I seen it, but somebody brought up a similar problem. What they said was something similar, and there was a guy that came on and he said, what is your tire pressure? And the guy told him, he said, put it to specs, it'll fix everything. So I started thinking, okay, what if there's some truth to that? As dumb as that sounds, I didn't think about that. These trucks come from the factory with specifications on how your tire pressure should be set up for best performance, drivability, comfort and everything like that. So if you look at right here, 60 PSI in the front, 80 PSI in the back. I had 35 all the way around. Don't do that. Take it from me, don't do that. Now, I will say this. I bumped up all 4 tires to 60 PSI, and here's why. I don't always do a lot of towing. I put all 4 tires at 60 PSI. Now, I did that for a couple reasons. For one, I didn't really want as hard of a ride in the back because it's already stiff to begin with. But I did 60 PSI all the way around, mainly to keep everything even. It'll keep my tread wearing evenly. Plus, as I rotate my tires, I won't have to keep constantly adjusting the actual PSI in all the tires as I continually try to rotate them. Again, sorry for the mud, guys. My wife did get me for my birthday a new foam cannon, and then for Christmas I got a pressure washer. So this thing, as soon as the weather starts getting better, is going to start staying a lot nicer and cleaner. And I'll do a review on that foam cannon here shortly. For those of you with older trucks, definitely keep an eye on your ball joints, your bushings, all that, because as soon as that goes bad, your truck is going to ride horribly, and to the point where it can almost be unsafe to drive. Replace that stuff before you start. Replace ball joints and bushings before you start replacing actual parts. It'll save you money, trust me. But if your steering linkage or your track bar is bent or just rusted and pretty bad, then okay, go buy a new one of those. But remember, pay attention to your steering components, bushings, all that stuff, because it will play a huge part in how your truck rides with a lift kit. But that's kind of about it, guys. I just wanted to kind of go over something real quick about my thoughts and impressions on lift kits for basics. Again, there's a lot of guys out there that are trying to get into this hobby and they don't really know what to do. I've done basic lift kits over the years, nothing quite to this extent. This is kind of my first big project I'm working on, but I found out the hard way. But again, this is for more the basic beginner guys, or the guys that might have already just put on a lift kit on their vehicle, but they haven't done the rest of the stuff. Definitely do that stuff, or at least pay attention to it so that you are aware of things you might have to fix, update, or replace. So that's about it, guys. Just wanted to kind of give you a quick little rundown of lift kit basics. If you like these types of videos, I'll continue to try to come up with more content for you, because again, this is what this is all about. I appreciate all of you. I want to keep this channel growing. I want to start doing more things, and I want to make a difference and really help other people. I posted my last video, for example, about why I started YouTube at 40, and I'll tell you that I have a few different reasons of why, but the main one is really because I like doing this kind of stuff. But when you're older, you got responsibilities and jobs and all this other stuff that takes precedent sometimes over a hobby. Okay, but I want you guys to know you can do it. You can do it. I think I'm gonna maybe come up with another video of maybe not just you can do it, but how to do it. I'll cover that maybe in another video. But again, if you like what you see, like, subscribe, comment, let me know what you like, let me know what you don't like. Either way, it's all good. And then we'll kind of go from there. So thank you for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll keep you posted on the next one.